What's going on, bros and girls? So as a lot of my subs know by now, I am doing a new ITX computer build called Project Pure White, which is going to be my secondary rig, and it will serve as both an HT PC as well as a budget gaming rig, and this is the motherboard I will be using. It's the Asus P8H77-i ITX motherboard, and I think it's the perfect match to go with my BitPhoenix Prodigy, as both the case and the MOBO feature USB 3.0, and I will most likely be using 3.0 USB drives to transfer movies to and from this system. Other main features of this board are Lucid Logic's Virtue MVP, which basically accelerates your graphics performance and improves power usage using a combination of discrete and integrated GPU, and Intel's Smart Response technology, which allows for SSD caching. It uses the LGA 1155 CPU socket and natively supports 32 as well as 22 nanometer Sandy as well as Ivory Bridge chips, so no flashing of the BIOS is required. It currently retails for around $100 in North America. So for a quick tour around the box, on the front you just have some of the main features. You can pause the video and read it for yourself if you'd like. There's the very bottom, I'll let it focus in. And a few I want to mention is that it is PCI Express 3.0 ready, so you can use the highest end video cards with this motherboard. There's the side, much of the same. There's some different languages. It does have mini-max, which basically means it's a small form factor, about the size of a DVD. And on that side you just have some of the UPCs and parts number and SKUs. And on the very back, I will focus it in. There's your technical specs, as well as some mention of Lucid Logic's Virtue MVP and again the 3.0 boost. And on the top over here it has some compatibility such as Windows 7, although it has been approved for Windows 8 now, so it is both 8 and 7 ready. And there's a picture of the product. So onto the unboxing. It's just a lid you pull up and over, and the first thing you see on this panel is just some cautionary notes. Basically, don't be an idiot and expose it to electrostatic. And this part over here just says how Asus is being more environmentally friendly and using more cardboard material as opposed to the old foam packaging. And here is the motherboard itself. We will get back to that in a moment. We'll start with the boring stuff, the accessories. And you pull this bottom piece off, and here you have your SATA connectors. These are the 6 gigabit per second SATA connections. There is a right angle as well as a straight. There's two of them. And here is your motherboard back I/O panel, your shield, and your driver's disc as well as a sticker. And I do recommend demoing the latest from asus.com, or Asus if you will. And here is the user guide. So onto the motherboard itself. I took it out of its electrostatic sleeve and I'll give you a tour of it. So in the middle you have the CPU socket, the 1155 socket. And on the bottom over here, I'll zoom in and give you guys a better look. On the bottom here are your two DDR3 DIMM slots, and it supports up to 2200 megahertz overclocked speeds. And this is your 24-pin power connector, and over here are your front panel connections, your LED light, status light, and sliding over here we have your chassis fan header. This is your SATA 3 6 gigabit per second connections and your SATA 2 3 gigabit per second connections. Here is your USB 3.0 internal header as well as your 2.0 USB internal header. And there is your 4-pin CPU connection. And over here, this dark blue slot is your PCI Express 3.0 connector, and it is times 16 speed. And beside the PCI Express slot is something I never know how to pronounce. It's SPDIF out. SPDIF out, whatever. And up over here are your front panel audio connectors. And lastly, on this corner is your second fan header. It is the CPU fan header, and both fan headers are 4-pin. So onto the rear I/O ports. We'll start on the left over here. This is your PS2 connection for keyboard/mouse. Here are two USB 2.0 ports, your HDMI, DVI, and VGA display ports, as well as a digital audio connector. And in the center over here, the blue ones are the USB 3.0 ports and additional 4 more USB 2.0 ports. And this is your RJ45 gigabit LAN connection, as well as analog audio connectors. This is line in, line out, and microphone. So I hope you guys all enjoyed my unboxing and overview of the Asus P8H77-i mini-itx motherboard. If you did, please thumbs up, comment, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. It would help me out tremendously. Until next time, YouTube, peace!